Let's go ahead and move on to lesson 3, class. So in this topic, the objective will be to look at some terms when conducting surveys. And so here are the three main terms that you need to know anytime that you conduct a survey. Well, first of all, one of the things anytime that you're conducting a survey is a lot of times you'll be comparing a large group of people to a part of the total population. So population would represent our total number of people that are in our survey, and then a sample size is just a small part of the population. Now, a random sample is when each object or person in the population has the same chance of being selected. In the first example down below, it says to find out the type of music people in a city prefer, you survey people from 18 to 30 years old. Is the sample random? And explain your answer. Well, if we think about the circumstance, if we're going to a place to survey people and we're only hitting a target audience of 18 to 30-year-olds, we're completely leaving out younger people and older people. So is the sample random? No, because again, it's exclusive to one particular age group. Let's take a look at some of the next examples down below, but before we do that, another important term that you need to know in this lesson is what we call a biased question. So anytime you have a bias about something, that means that you have an unfair view about something. So a biased question is unfair questions in a survey. Let's take a look at some examples of some questions that would be considered biased questions. So for example, number 1, how dumb is so-and-so when it comes to foreign policy? Well, I think that's pretty self-explanatory because anytime that we use negative language in a question, it creates a natural bias when we do that. Or the question, which do you prefer, pizza or tacos? Well, what about the people that don't like pizza or tacos? Believe me, there are people like that out there in the world. Shame on them, but that is true. That not everybody likes pizza or tacos, so that would be another example of a biased question. So that leads us to ask, well, how do we properly fix these questions so that we don't have a biased tone to them? So another way that you can reword number 1 would be an example of what is so-and-so's view on foreign policy? As you can tell, the structure of that question remains neutral and it does not persuade the person in the survey to take one side or the other. And then for question 2, we simply reworded the question to, what kind of food do you like to eat? It leaves the question open-ended and it opens up for a variety of different answers. I hope you found this lesson helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions.